Okay, so get this right. Picture a cold December night back in 1964. You're driving along quiet road, Harrisonburg, Virginia, and your car, the engine, just dies, stalls out.
Oh, that's never good.
Yeah, spooky. Right. And then you look up to see what's going on, and bam, huge thing in the sky, like beehive shaped, glowing.
Oh, this sounds like a story. What is this from the news or something?
Even better, we're diving into some Project Blue Book files.
Oh, wow, the Air Force stuff. Those are always fascinating.
Yeah, it's the alleged 1964 UFO landing in Harrisonburg, Virginia, from, the Black Vault case files.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of that one. So this is serious. If Project Blue Book investigated, they didn't mess around.
Right, so this guy, Horace Burns, he was a gunsmith, local guy, driving along Route 250 when this all went down.
Okay, so what? He saw a light in the sky. Lots of people see those.
No, no, this is different. He described it like really big, like 80, maybe 90 feet high.
Yeah.
And a huge diameter, 125.
Hold on, that's like bigger than a house.
Yeah. And get this, he said he heard a rushing sound, like air, as it went over.
Wow. And his car stalled, you said. That's a bit freaky.
Yeah, and that's what's wild, the detail. Right. It wasn't just a bright light. He said it was fluorescent. Plus the engine thing, that's weird, right?
Yeah, you don't hear that every day. Adds a little something extra to the story.
Totally. So then, hold on, it gets weirder. Burns goes to a professor, Ernest Gemin, from Eastern Mennonite College.
A professor, not like the Air Force or some UFO group.
Nope. Gemin was just a professor. But something about Burns' story got to him.
Huh. So even a regular guy got caught up in this. Makes you think.
I know, right? So they go back to the site, Gemin and Burns, and Gemin brings a Geiger counter to check for, like, radiation and stuff.
Geiger count? Was he expecting like fallout or something?
Well, the readings, they were high, like way up there.
Now that is interesting. Geiger counters, they don't lie, Ionizing radiation, that means something happened there.
And to top it off, two guys, they were DuPont engineers, Harry Cook and this Mr. Funk. They saw Grayman doing the readings, and they backed him up, said it was legit.
Whoa, so multiple people saw those high readings.
Well,
That's tough to dismiss as just, a mistake or something.
exactly. So now we got a good witness, a weird event, and science backing it up, but, well, the Air Force had to get in on this naturally.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
What did they make of all this? So the Air Force sent their guys a few weeks later.
Who they send?
Technical Sergeant David Moody and Staff Sergeant Harold Jones. They went to the site, and get this, Burns went with them, and Gurman, even the student president of the UFO group at Eastern Mennonite, Claire Weaver.
Wow, like a whole posse. So what'd they find, the Air Force guys?
Well, that's where things go sideways. See, Moody, he used a different device, a Model 2586 beta gamma survey meter, and he didn't get those crazy high readings Grumman got.
Wait, so two different results? Now I'm really interested. Did they, explain that?
Hold on, here's the science part. Different gadgets, right? They're made to pick up different types of radiation. Gimmins Geiger counter, that was mostly for alpha and beta particles. The Air Force thing, the beta gamma survey meter, well, that's in the name. It's better for beta and gamma.
Ah, so maybe whatever was there, if anything, it wasn't what the Air Force thing could see.
Exactly. Like using the wrong tool for the job,
Right, makes sense. But Gaiman, he's a science guy. Wouldn't he have thought of that?
Oh, he did. And that's why he got a bit suspicious. He said Moody was like messing with the meter, adjusting it quickly when the numbers went up, almost like he didn't want higher readings.
Huh. That's kind of shady, if true. Do you think maybe Gaiman was just, super into the UFO thing and wanted it to be real?
It's tough to say. These things, UFOs, they get people emotional, Everyone's got their own ideas. We got to look at the facts, keep it level-headed.
Well, speaking of facts, the Air Force said, flat out, no evidence of a UFO landing. They said there were no marks on the ground, no other witnesses, nothing.
Yeah, they basically said Burns made it up, that there was no UFO. Case closed.
But hold on, didn't Gehrman say they mowed the field afterwards and it snowed when the Air Force was there?
Yeah.
That would erase any, landing marks, right?
Yeah, that's what Gemin argued. He said the Air Force was too late. Any proof would be gone.
So it's like, who do you believe? One guy says this, the other says that. The readings are different. What are we supposed to think?
That's UFOs for you, right? Rarely clear-cut, more questions than answers. It's what makes it fun, in a way.
But even if we ignore the back and forth, the car stalling when the UFO was there, that's strange, right? Isn't that physical proof something happened?
It's definitely a detail you don't forget, and others have reported it too with UFOs. Some say UFOs give off electromagnetic pulses, mess with electronics, but no one's proven that.
So a puzzle with missing pieces, huh? We've got these stories, weird stuff happening, and science that doesn't really explain it. Frustrating, but also exciting, you know?
Totally. It makes you think outside the box. What if there's more to things than we know?
And the Air Force, they're not always right, are they? Remember what Gibbons said?
About the power lines.
Yeah. They got the height totally wrong in their report. Makes you wonder if they even did a good job looking into this, you know?
It does make you think, if they messed up something basic, what else did they get wrong? Or miss completely?
So what's the answer? Was this just a mistake, a hoax, or something real?
Project Blue Book, they had all the tools, all the people, but they couldn't say for sure. Not enough evidence, they said. But that doesn't mean we know the truth, does it?
Man, it's like a big mystery hanging over this whole thing. Makes you want to go there yourself, see if you can find something they missed. Like,
Yeah.
we hit a wall here. We have someone who seems believable, things happening that we can't explain, the science readings are all weird, and the Air Force just says, nope, nothing to see here.
Do you ever think, and I know this is just like me thinking out loud, but could they have, I don't know, downplayed it on purpose? Like maybe they didn't want everyone freaking out or admitting they had no clue what happened. That's the question, isn't it? With a lot of UFO stuff. Government cover-up sounds cool, right? But we got to be careful about jumping to conclusions. Remember, back then, it was the Cold War, big time. Anything in the sky, they probably thought, is this the Russians? Had to be careful, national security and all that.
So maybe more like being cautious, not necessarily hiding something.
Could be. Their job was to figure out if there was a threat. Sometimes you got to play it safe, even if it seems weird. But yeah, the way they wrote it up and those things Beman pointed out, it does make you wonder.
This is turning into like an X-Files episode.
Yeah.
Seriously. We get the mystery, we get some clues, but no real answers. What would it take, do you think, for you, even for someone who doesn't believe in this stuff, to be convinced? What's the proof you'd need?
That's the tough one, right? How do you prove something when no one knows what it is? Finding a piece of the UFO, that'd be something. But then people would say it's fake, probably. I guess it comes down to, are you willing to believe there might be more out there than we understand?
It's like, we think we know so much, and then something like this pops up, and it's like, wait, what do we really know?
Exactly. Makes you realize there's a lot we don't know about the universe. This Harrisonburg thing, believe it or not, it tells us stay curious. Ask questions. Don't assume we have it all figured out. There might be more to reality than we see.
Well put. Looks like we've reached the end of our deep dive into this Harrisonburg UFO thing.
Yeah.
What's your takeaway for everyone listening while they're thinking about all this?
Go check out the files, the ones we talked about. Read them yourself. Don't just take the Air Force's word for it or Gehman's. See what you think. Look at the stuff they found, remember what was going on back then, and keep an open mind, most importantly.
Good advice. Thanks for coming along on this trip into the unknown. And everyone listening, until next time, keep looking up and keep asking those questions.